passed a bill Monday night that will hold drug companies accountable for costs related to the opioid crisis. We get more on that from Eric Nelson. Eric?
Yes, Shannon, some lawmakers who supported the bill say it will put Minnesota on the cutting edge of fighting the opioid crisis. Under the House bill, the state would raise annual registration fees for pharmaceutical companies and drug wholesalers that distribute or sell opioids in the state.
The pharmaceutical companies who have killed people with their opioid drugs are going to pay the price finally this year in the Minnesota House. They are going to be part of the solution and they will be held accountable. That is absolutely essential to addressing this crisis, making sure that the people who profited from the problem, profited from death, are the ones who helped to pay the price for fixing it.
The increased fees would generate $20 million a year and be put in a new opioid stewardship fund. That would pay for a wide range of prevention and treatment strategies. According to those sponsoring the bill, opioid-related overdose deaths have increased steadily since 2010. In 2016, nearly 400 people died from opioids. Local DFL leaders say one reason it's been tough to get something passed is because Big Pharma floods the Capitol with lobbyists.
We can't prevent every opioid death, but we cannot defend not doing anything about the epidemic because there are 400 pharmaceutical lobbyists roaming the hill. So, we don't pretend that we're going to be able to wave a magic wand and create a new Minnesota, but we're undertaking the efforts to improve people's lives.
Now, Republicans who voted against the bill say it will increase health care costs for every Minnesotan. The Senate version was scheduled for a hearing today. Shannon?
Thank you, Eric. A hands-free cell phone bill that would impact millions of Minnesota drivers now moves to a vote in the Republican-led Senate. The House overwhelmingly approved the measure on Monday night. There's a significant difference between the House and Senate versions, though. The Senate bill exempts GPS usage from the handheld requirement. The House version does not. Two local women, one from Golden Valley and another from Plymouth, are recipients of a prestigious Bush Foundation Fellowship Grant. One of the recipients is Rose McGee, who CCX News has featured for her baking of sweet potato comfort pies. McGee delivers the pies around the country to help people heal following tragic events of racial or religious violence. She is among 24 people who will receive an award of up to $100,000 to enhance their leadership skills. Also receiving an award is Alex West Steinman of Plymouth. She started an organization to increase economic access and opportunities for women. We profiled Alex back in 2017, and you can see that story on our website. Today at Robbinsdale Middle School, students celebrated Strength in Girls, an event to learn more about positive women in the community. 8th grade students heard from guest speaker Minnesota Supreme Court Justice Ann McKeag. She told them that there are plenty of female role models and they should set goals and chase their dreams. McKeag is the first Native American to be named to the state court, and she came from humble beginnings.
I grew up on the reservation. I lived in a trailer house. We lived on commodities, fishing, hunting. We didn't have a lot of money, but I had a strong mother who really promoted education and said, if dream big, what do you want to do? And in 9th grade, I wanted to be a lawyer, and she helped me kind of foster that goal.
For the past 66 years, St. Vincent de Paul has provided families in the northwest suburbs with a faith-based education. Today in School Spotlight, Delane Cleveland takes us inside the Brooklyn Park Catholic School.
Within the walls of St. Vincent de Paul,
let's start at the first page.
You'll see all of the usual signs of a normal school day. Kids hard at work.
Secretary is featured on $1.
And teachers like Molly Kane doing their best to help students succeed.
2nd grade is so fun for me. I feel like we get to take the 1st graders and watch them soar.
Kane has taught at St. Vincent de Paul for the past 7 years.
I feel like I have found a gold mine here. I found a school that really values the whole child for who they are.
I think the school has 500 students enrolled in preschool through 8th grade. Class sizes here are small.
I think when you are at St. Vincent's, you really do matter. People know your student by name and your family by name.
Meanwhile, beyond the core subjects taught at every grade level, the school also emphasizes faith.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.
Students pray in class and religion is taught on a daily basis.
And every Wednesday morning we start the day with Mass, and it's a wonderful way for us to come together as a community and worship.
Lisa Simon is St. Vincent de Paul's principal. And even though this is a Catholic school, she says you don't have to be Catholic to attend.
So certainly as a Catholic school, the majority of people who come here are Catholic, but we're also noticing an uptick in the number of families who are finding us from different faiths, and they report to me that they feel very welcomed and honored.
Let's find out about their journey.
After all, the mission of the school, regardless of faith, is to provide a quality education and help students become good human beings.
Hey, there you go.
And yes, families do have to pay a tuition of about $4,000 for students to attend St. Vincent de Paul.
Can I hear from a couple readers?
But staff members here say it's a worthwhile investment.
I hope they realize that we will try to give the very best opportunities with their dollar to make their student the most well-rounded and happiest and wholesome student they can be.
In Brooklyn Park, Dwayne Cleveland, CCX News.
At Birchview Elementary in Plymouth, the entire school got involved in a very interesting art project. Check out this time-lapse video that a teacher made of the creation of a mural inside of the school. Students submitted sketches and used an old-school projector to draw the picture on the wall, and then students from all across the school got to paint the mural. Principal Fredrickson says it was one way that students show Trojan pride. And you can see more school stories like this on our website, ccxmedia.org.
Three of the 8 spots in the state Class 4A boys basketball tournament are filled by teams we cover on CCX. That includes top-seeded Park Center. Here's Jay Wilcox with more on the Pirates.
It's doubtful any of the state tournament teams had a more heart-stopping test in their section final. Park Center's triple overtime win over Champlain Park was draining but exhilarating.
It was a definitely nerve-wracking game, long game. We were all tired. We all felt it in after the game. So, but it was a fun game. You know, we worked for those games. It's always fun to play in close games and just grind and work to get the win. So overall, it was definitely a fun game.
Neither team wanted their season to end, and I don't know what. I think we got out of there maybe 9:45. It was a late night, but I was really happy for our guys that we get this opportunity to go to the state tournament.
As luck would have it, the Pirates meet District and Northwest Suburban Conference rival Maple Grove in the first round, a team they beat twice in the regular season. That could be good or bad.
It could be a gift and a curse, you know. Maple Grove is always a tough team to play, you know, and we beat them twice this year, but, you know, regular season doesn't matter at this point, so we're going to go in there and play the same game we've been playing, just a little bit harder.
Park Center is ready to continue the memorable journey this week at State. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove beat Buffalo to earn a spot in the state basketball tournament. The Crimson are excited for the chance to take on the top seed in their first game.
Last week's section championship win for Maple Grove was the 4th straight for the Crimson as they look to make it a tradition within the program.
I think Coach Schroeder's really created a winning culture here at Maple Grove, and I think the 4 years of state obviously helps prove that point, but I think every day coming into practice, he just has that winning culture at Maple Grove.
Our guys kind of not necessarily expect it, but it's not a surprise when we go, and I think that's one of the biggest hurdles to get over.
Maple Grove's first round date with Park Center gives them familiarity with their opponent and the challenge that comes with playing a top-ranked Pirates.
First of all, we've got to shoot the ball well like we've been doing the last couple of games. I think that's a big key for us, and we really have to make sure we rebound and play defense, especially because they're very good at rebounding and they're super athletic, which should be really fun though.
One thing the players here all know, they are the underdogs in this game. That's okay with them.
I like being the underdog because it seems like then we don't get as much recognition, and then that is kind of like our drive to push harder, and we're excited to play. So there's really no nerves coming in.
Maple Grove and Park Center tip off at 10 o'clock Wednesday morning at Target Center. The Hopkins boys basketball team is back at state after a 2-year hiatus and will face Cambridge Isanti in the first round. Jason Malillo visited the Royals and has this report.
Focus and consistency for 36 minutes is what the Royals are striving for as their bid for a state title begins.
We usually start well against teams. We go on good runs to start the game. We'll get up by 10 or so, and then after that we'll start to struggle a little bit, go rush on offense, and we just got to keep playing the same way we start.
Focus and consistency is really what we have to really focus on. That's been our kind of downfall. That's why we lost some games we should have won. So we got to really focus on consistency when things don't go our way.
Hopkins' first-round opponent is Cambridge Isanti, and Hopkins coach Ken Novak thinks the Blue Jackets will be a tough out.
They're very quick. They've got a lot of guys similar. All 5 guys shoot the ball from 3. They throw up a lot of threes. They're going to live and die with that 3. They get a lot of movement, a lot of screening. So it's a little bit of a challenge. They also go play a matchup zone, which not many people do anymore. So it's kind of a challenge. I haven't seen one this year. Our kids haven't. So it's gonna take a little bit used to that too.
In the state tournament, the margin for error is very small, but the Royals are a highly talented team and certainly capable of winning 3 more games. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Hopkins and Cambridge Isanti play at 2 p.m. Wednesday. That's all for sports. More news after this.